Okay, well, good morning everybody. Welcome back to Sprinter Van Conversions. You join me on a pretty cold but very fresh and beautiful Welsh morning here at in the Brecon Beacons. Sorry, I'm really not awake yet. I've just cooked myself up some breakfast, which is actually was meant to be last night's dinner, but I got here quite late, so didn't end up doing it last night. But it's absolutely gorgeous this morning. I really hope that you can see what I see at the moment in the background. The sun is just rising over Penny Fan, and yeah, it looks gorgeous. But I've just cooked myself up some ravioli. I'm gonna get this down my neck and then I'll show you around the truck. I got the truck about 3 months ago and it has got about 125,000 miles on it and 2 owners from new, so I'm really happy with it. I've done quite a lot of work to it, so I've got new tyres, new suspension, stuff like that. If you want to go and look at some of the build videos, sorry, I'm really not awake yet, and I forgot to bring coffee with me. What a rookie error. If you want to look at any of the build videos, then do go ahead and check them out up here or up there, wherever they are. And yeah, but today's video is going to be all about the camping setup in the van itself. So then this is basically it. It is a full-size double bed. I've got an IKEA mattress under here. You guys know I love a proper good night's sleep. You can see the mattress here. It's like 15 centimeters deep, so really comfortable, and it's on a frame I built out of some ply and some timber. I'm not sure if you can see it under here, but it's a classic sort of slide out camper van bed, but instead of sliding widthways, it slides lengthways, and then I just have to screw in some screws along the back to secure it. Now this bed setup does mean that you can keep the back seat in, which is really handy. So the back seat is in there, folded down. So if I wanted, I could fold up the mattress to the roof, slide back the bed, which is under there, and then put the back seats up. Why I would want to do that, I don't know. I want to trip, because when we go away with the dogs just go on the bed, and we obviously just go in the front when we're driving. So this is basically the bed setup. It's pretty simple, but it's really comfortable. And the reason that I went with a long wheelbase Shogun instead of any other 4x4 is that from the back of the front seats to the back of the truck, the back door, that is just over 6 foot. And since I'm 6 foot, I fit in there perfectly. And honestly, it's really such a comfy night's sleep. Last night I slept just as well as at home. So yeah, really happy with the bed setup in this truck. Okay, that's the sweet sound of the kettle boiling. So I'm going to make myself a cup of tea now and explain to you about the rest of the build. As you guys may have mentioned, I am on this solo trip because I am going off-roading today with some guys that I met online. Sounds weird, I know. The truck, truth be told, is a bit tight to have 2 people and 2 dogs sleeping in it. We haven't actually tried it yet. Once we actually get into the bed, it shouldn't be a problem at all. But it's just maneuvering to get into bed is quite difficult because, well, there's basically zero headroom. And if you've got 2 dogs on the bed already, it's very difficult to maneuver in the bed. Basically, once you get in the bed from the back doors, that's it, you're in until the morning, and then you have to slide out. So, of course, it's not as comfortable as a Sprinter or, you know, a normal camper van, but this isn't a normal camper van. This is a 4x4. Its primary use is to go off-road, go overlanding and what have you. So yeah, you can't expect it to do all the things that an amazing Sprinter can do. And talking about Sprinters, I have got a new one. I have started the conversion. Probably next time I publish a video, it will be about the Sprinter. I can introduce you guys to it. So yeah, really excited about that, and looking forward to get the conversion done. Miss having a Sprinter van. Now then, of course, once the bed is in its bed position, there isn't much room for anything else really. Apart from underneath the bed, I have made sure that there's just about enough space to get stuff in. Obviously I've got my fire extinguisher there. This is very primitive, by the way. Fire extinguisher there. And I've got this like open space at the back here because the floor of the Shogun does actually fold up, and I've got all of my recovery gear and the leisure battery under there. Just next to that, we have this little cubby in here, which I sort of use for electrics. I've got USB chargers, voltmeter and stuff in there, so that's really handy for charging the drone batteries and stuff like that. And then on the other side, I have like kitchen stuff, tea bags, tea towel, stuff like that. Necessary stuff that just gets stuffed into crevices. On the inside, I actually removed the rear seat belts because this truck does have 7 seats from factory. I've removed the rear seats, removed the rear seat belts, and then carpeted these panels at the back. And also the factory lights up here, the interior lights, so there's one there, one over there, and one over there, yeah, around there. I've wired all of these into the leisure battery, so I can use these when I'm parked up or whatever inside the truck. I don't have to worry about flattening the truck battery itself. But having said that, if in the worst case I was to flatten the battery, then I do have my Osram battery starter jump pack here. If you want to see the review of this, then go ahead and watch it up in the corner here. I actually reviewed this when it was minus 20 degrees outside in Lithuania in winter. Amazing little bit of kit this is. Another feature that I really thought I would use more is my awning. I've got a 270 degree awning that comes out and wraps around the back. Now, I've not actually used it yet, and it was so expensive. I got one with walls, so it can be used as a tent in bad weather, but I've just not used it yet. When the weather's like this, don't need it, just sit out the back of the truck. But of course, there is zero internal space in the truck when the bed is in its bed position, apart from sitting in the front seats, of course, but who wants to be there when you're stuck there the whole day driving? Just one more feature that I want to mention in this video, because it can never be mentioned enough, is I've got a between front seat net holder there, and it actually holds my first aid kit. Now, if you're ever going off-roading, you should always have one of these. You never know when you might, cut yourself on a tree or a rock or whatever, or in the worst case, lacerate yourself in a some sort of bad recovery situation. Of course, God forbid that ever happens, but it's better to have one and not need it than need it and not have it. Another really good point that I saw in somebody else's YouTube video is that the first aid kit should always be visible to everybody in the truck. So even if I have the back seats up, not like it is at the moment with the bed out, if I have the back seats up, somebody sitting in the back, people sitting in the front, everybody can see where the first aid kit is, and anyone from outside the truck can also see it too. And do excuse the mud on the seats. Like I say, I have been off-roading quite a bit. Oh yes, thanks so much for watching the video, everybody. I really hope it's been interesting and informative. I found it really difficult when I was researching Shogun builds, campervan builds, or Overland builds, let's say, on YouTube and on Google. So I really hope that this will help anyone out there that is thinking about getting one. Totally recommend this vehicle. Much better, in my opinion. I might get some comments for this, but much better than a Land Rover Discovery 3, which was going to be my alternative truck. Much more mechanically reliable and what have you. So yeah, really happy with this setup. Really hope I can keep the truck for a while, but you know what I'm like sometimes. I do a project and once I've done it, I get bored. That's not to say I've got anything else in the pipeline at the moment, but you never know. So really hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you found it interesting. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one when I'll be back to Sprinter van conversions.